Hello dolls, and welcome back to another video. Today I want to go to an estate sale. So we saw this in the papers and we figured we would go because we rarely go to estate sales here. They're not really happening. We have no idea what we're getting ourselves into, but I'm quite excited, to be honest. So this is the look. It is Saturday morning. Everyone is recharged. They're opening in like 20 minutes and that's about as long as it's going to take us to get there. So we'll better get going. This is the makeup that I went with today. I kind of applied my eyeshadow in like a flower shape, which is something that I really like to do. And I'm also getting a haircut Tuesday, so almost made it through the time with like the awkward hairdo, which a lot of you told me that you don't even think it looks weird and you kind of like it. But for me, I don't know. I feel like the full fringe is just a little more for me. And then I'm wearing this dress by the Octopus Garden that luckily still fits me. I'm quite excited about that, and let's get going. Sprouting today. I can feel your love every time that you speak. Soothing sounds abound on their way to me. Place and me, you are a flower girl. One of my favorite thing about estate sales is once houses kind of like start to get demolished and then you see what was on the walls before. I have a wooden vase like this because I like them, but they always leak. This one looks like it had been leaking before. Look at this old typewriter. It doesn't have a year or anything, but this is super old. Apparently this used to be a farm, so there are lots of houses that kind of like belong to it. I made it onto the jewelry. Let's see. A rosary, a couple of these pins. Someone got for some honorary thing, I'm assuming. This is something about like the music club, I guess. The star-shaped one is kind of cool. It's so hard to tell. Can't really see anymore what it once was for. This brooch is kind of cool, but what I really like is this ring. Let me try this on. Unfortunately, it is severely tarnished and just not a good quality, but it is kind of pretty. It's just so dark already and I don't know how to clean it because it's not silver or anything. Actually all of those buildings, but it is in quite rough condition, like the building in general. This was the first time I've ever been to an estate sale that was in a building in this condition. Like usually I feel like you go to places where the house is still somewhat intact and then they sell a lot more things, and I'm assuming that here probably one or two person lived and their children and everyone probably already got rid of most of the things in there because there wasn't that much there, but we still got a couple of great things. I'm gonna show you everything we got in a second, but I'm pretty sure my son's gonna play with this right away, so I can either show you this now or never. We got this little truck. These usually carry milk. This is like a popular milk brand from Bavaria. Then this is a beer truck. This is actually somewhat local to us. So we got this for him. And then this set, which is just 20 small cars. I really like this school bus. He's gonna like all of the like trucks and pickups. I mean, the car is cool too. These are American cars, I'm assuming. They do look quite cool. So yeah, that's what my son picked. Alright everybody, I am back home and I figured I would give you a quick haul of all the things that we got. So our total came out to 20 bucks, which I think is pretty good. But we also didn't really get that many things. As said, it was quite picked already and just, I don't know, we always only pick up what we really adore. I think that makes sense. So for our son, we got this. This is a very popular old German children's book. I really like it. Some people say it is quite brutal, and it is in a sense, but I feel like a lot of old fairy tales are somewhat brutal, and it's just really humorous. And I know as a child, I could quote probably every single thing in here, because I really liked it. And so I think my son will like it too. So we got that. Then we got 2 records. My husband picked this one, Bonnie M, because he's a lot more into 80s music than I am, but maybe I'll give it a go as well. And then I picked up this one, which isn't in great condition, but this is Hergest Ridge by Mike Oldfield. Also, if it is very loud, it's because there are people currently working on our building. And then I picked up 2 more things. I picked up this beautiful decorative piece. This needs a deep clean, but I do really like it. I don't know what I'm gonna use it for yet, but I honestly really adore it. And then last but not least, I'm a sucker for a big mug for both tea, coffee, basically everything. I also like to have soup out of those, and I really like this one. Look at the blue paint and everything. It is really stunning, so I knew I needed to pick this one as well. And then we went to the supermarket, and there they had like a little free library, because that's like a thing that a lot of people do here. Oh, I actually need to show you another book that I picked up at a free library a little while ago. But this is Crossroads by Jonathan Franzen, which apparently is set in the 70s and just sounded quite interesting. Yes, it starts on December 23rd, 1971. So we'll see how I'm gonna like it. This is in great condition. I don't know if anyone's read it yet, but it looks pretty great. So pick this as well. But I wanted to show you a couple more things that I got within the last few weeks. First of all, I ordered some used books. I love used books, have so many of them. I ordered this Ringo Starr biography for my podcast episode on Marine. Unfortunately, it didn't have much, but it was still an interesting read. I quite enjoyed this one. And then when this video is going to come out, 2 more sleeps, and my new podcast episode, the one that I'm hosting, like the next one, is going to be Linda McCartney. And for that, I picked up this book. This is the Danny Fields biography, and I know he's a little controversial because not everything that he has said so far was the most reliable source. However, he was close friends with Linda, and I really enjoyed reading this. I feel like it paints a really interesting picture of an incredible and beautiful woman who just had so much to offer to the world. So I really, really enjoyed reading this. And then I got a couple more books. I needed to get this. I finally got Valley of the Dolls. I haven't read it yet, but this has a picture of Jean Shrimpton on the cover. I don't know which issue or whatever it is. It's obviously not like an original issue. This one was reprinted in 2001. So I'm just so excited to read this because I love the film and I've always wanted to read the book, and for some reason never have. And then I got 2 more books, and these, I don't know, I saw them, I needed to get them. So this is what they look like. It's the Icons kind of like range, I guess. And this one is called All American Ads from the 1960s. And the pictures in here are incredible. I've read a little bit of it, but it's not quite like the full reading experience. I mean, what is quite interesting is that it first of all goes into like the mindset of ads in the 60s, but then after that, all that it is, the entire book, is just pictures of ads. And that is so cool, honestly. There are some great ones in here. Let's see if I can find a couple of my favorites. I've also used this before to do some research for like a couple of videos. Look at this one, for example. That is such a cool one. I love Frank Zappa. He's the greatest. And then this one has been on my Pinterest board for ages, but I also really, really adore this one for this laundry stuff. Yeah, it's just a great book, honestly. Kind of like shows you the way that advertising was perceived and kind of like worked in the 60s. So yeah, I love things like this. I mean, just look at these prints. And these are often pictures that have been on my Pinterest for a while, but just seeing them in high resolution and everything is quite cool. It's so curated. I needed to get these, so I'm quite excited. Also, whenever I see old ads like this, the pricing is wild. Look at this. A PSA aisle seat was only $13.50. LA to San Francisco. Imagine being able to fly for less than 15 bucks. Must have been the dream back then. Apparently this book cost 30 bucks new. That's quite a lot. I think I paid like 3 or something. But yeah, along the same lines, I also got 60s fashion. And that is a book filled with vintage fashion and beauty ads. And this is so cool. I think I'm gonna make like a couple more videos solely based on these books because there's so much in here. Let me know if you want like a full show and tell of my vintage books or like books on 60s things, because I have a couple of these and I adore them. I mean, just look at how fun advertising used to be, and then look at what we got right now. No colors, no fun. I really adore it. I mean, obviously this is the Holy Grail. I just talked about this in my 60s makeup video. This is the Slickers wanted for stealing kisses. Outrageously beautiful female, heavily armed with the Slickers. And these are just so cool. I love how fun and playful advertising used to be. Oh, and I think I said that many times before, but I have such a soft spot for 60s illustrations, like advertising. It's mostly beauty and like hair care and perfumes that fit that. Look at her, look at that look. Wow, wow, wow. The Sharon Tate Carburton ad. I spoke about this in the podcast episode about her. Yeah, it's just filled with some of the most beautiful pictures of the decade. So, very glad that I got my hands on that. And then, last but not least, I thrifted. There was like a new children's thrift store opening in our town. And so I went there and I got a couple of things for the baby. However, most of them aren't for her as a baby. They're just things that she'll grow into eventually. So the first thing that I got is this little like wrap jacket thing, and it is so sweet. I adore it. Look at the pattern. It's so small. I'm 33 weeks now, so we're getting somewhere. Then I got this, which isn't vintage, but I just really like the pattern. It's a little sleep outfit. Then I found this Murray Mecco little dress, and this is big. This is definitely for like a 2-year-old, but you know, clothing doesn't go bad. I have stuff for my son for like 6-year-olds that I just keep on hold for him until he'll grow into it. And then this little dress, it's a little sailor's dress, and it is so sweet. And I saw tons of these in the 60s, and so, you know, I just had to get it for her.
Autos. Hallo! Hallo! Hallo!
Wo ist der Unfall? Wo soll ich löschen?
Da.
Da.
I figured I'd come into the bedroom for a second because it is just so loud out there. But at another one of these like free little libraries, I picked up this book last week, and this is called Das kleine Vornamenbuch, which means the little book of first names. And it is from the mid-70s, and just look at it. I was drawn to it by the cover and everything, but like the names in here are truly something else. Also, the way that it is illustrated is so sweet. And we haven't fully decided on a name yet. We have decided on her second and third name, but we have 3 names in the game for her first name. So, yeah, we'll see. I don't share my children's names or anything online, so you'll never know. But we're just still in the process of figuring out what to name her. And I said this with my son too. I cannot make like a definite decision until I see the child. Like even with my son, and we were set on the name pretty early. I was like, I need to look at him once he's like born and see whether the name works. And so I think it's kind of that situation. However, we're not as set on a name this time. But I'm glad that we have 3 names that we all adore and that I feel like would all work, and they all work with the second and third name. So I feel like I have to say this because new people come to the channel all the time. I was named Emma Rosa Katharina. So Emma is my given name by my mom and dad, and then Rosa and Katharina are my grandmas. And we kind of like kept the tradition of having like family names as a second and third name. And so my son's second and third name are men from our family, and we're gonna do the same thing with our daughter as well. So that's why those names are already set, yet we haven't decided on the first name yet. So yeah, I feel like that is it for today's video. This might have been a little chaotic, a little all over the place, and a little short, but that's kind of also what I love about thrifting. You never know what you're gonna find. I had no idea what we're gonna go to and like how this estate sale was gonna pan out today. I told my husband, I was like, what if it is really good? Are we gonna buy like a bunch of stuff? He was like, well, we'll have to see if it's like really good, why not? But I love that you can always find little treasures everywhere, and it's not about buying like things in bulk, it's about finding those treasures. And I often see people who are like, oh, I want to start dressing vintage, but I'm looking for this and that in specific in particular, and I'm always like, yeah, but that's not how it works. If you want to wear vintage exclusively, you have to understand that you cannot go in with that mindset. You have to go in with an open mindset all the time. You can have a wish list, of course, but you kind of have to understand that it is pretty much impossible to always find what you're looking for. But yeah, that is it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I would love you to give it a thumbs up and maybe even share it with a friend. It supports me, it supports the channel, and it would really mean the world. I hope you have a beautiful day. Go out, enjoy the sunshine, take yourself some time to focus on you and your mental health today, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye doll!